Today's story is the broken promise. The broken promise. Somebody broke the promise. Somebody did not keep the promise. Okay. A long time ago, once upon a time, a long time ago. This is a story about Indian people, American Indian people, I think. American Indian. Anyway, a long time ago, there was an American Indian man. So, he was an American Indian, and he was a good man. But he was very, very sad. He was not happy. He was sad because people were not nice to him. He was a very kind man. He was a kind man, and he was a very gentle man. But people were not kind to him, and people were not gentle to him. There were many mean things, not kind things done to him. There was a lot of betrayal. Betrayal means he trusted somebody. He trusted a friend. He believed that one person was his best friend, but no, the person was not his best friend. The person betrayed him. His friend was not loyal to him. So he received many unkind actions. People were not kind to him. There were many cruel deeds, unkind actions done to him. Okay? There were many betrayals. There were a lot of treachery. Treachery means deceive people, lie to people, disloyal. People did many dirty tricks. They spoke, they were not honest to him. They lied to him. They tricked him, and they took advantage of him. And so he was not happy with his friends. And so he decided to leave his tribe. He decided to leave his tribe, and he had a wife. He had a wife, and he had he had 3 children. A young man, and a young, the brother and sister, probably like he was 18 maybe, and she was 16. But this father and mother also had a little boy. They had a little boy, and I don't know how old this little boy was. I am thinking maybe he was like 3 years old. Okay, he was 3 years old. Now, the father and mother left the tribe, the village, and they went into the forest. They traveled and went into a large forest, but they also found a clear river, stream. near the forest. And so they decided to build a small house, and this family lived here for a while. They lived in this house peacefully. Okay? Peacefully means without a lot of fight, calm, happy, joyful, nothing, no troubles. So this family lived here by the stream peacefully. Okay? The father went out and hunted when it was necessary to find some food. He went and, hunted, killed an animal so they could eat, and probably they took the skin and they made something to wear, jacket or cape or something to wear so they could stay in the house warmly. Yeah? And so this family lived here peacefully, and this was a safe house, safe place. It was a protected place. Okay, protect. You protect, yeah? It was a protected place. It was a sheltered place. Sheltered. Sheltered place means protected. It's nobody's there, and the father is protecting the family, and so it was a sheltered, protected place. Except when he had to go hunting, he stayed at home. So he and his wife and children were always around this area, and they were safe. Okay? It was good. Now, we don't know how long they lived here, but one day the father became sick. He became sick. And he called his mother, his wife, and children. He was in bed and he was sick. And so he called his mother and his children, and he said to his children, I am going to die very soon. And he said, I was very happy here in this house because there were not people around us who lied to us, who betrayed us, who were unkind to us, who spoke ill of us. So he said, we were very happy together here. But he said, you two, the young boy and young girl, you two and a child, you are starting now. I finished my life, but you are starting your life. And my wife, she was a good companion, good friend, good companion for me, for my life. But she is an old woman. She will die soon too. So you three will be left. You'll be alone here by yourselves. The father said to the brother and sister, older brother and older sister, he said to the two children, be careful. If you go back to the village, you will meet wickedness. Wickedness means bad things, wrong things, evil things, like stealing, like killing, robbery. So you will, and unkind deeds, unkind actions to other people, like hurt people. And so he said, you will experience wickedness, bad things, and you will experience unkindness. kindness. Okay, people are sometimes unkind, not kind. There are some people who are not very thankful. Some people are very ingratitude. Ingratitude. Okay, gratitude means thankfulness. And so ingratitude means unthankful, gratitude, ungrateful. Okay? And so he said to the children, you will experience these unkindness, wickedness, ingratitude when you live. He said, I escaped, I ran away from the village. I fled from these things. And we lived here for a while, and I was very happy. But you will experience these things. And so he said, be careful, he said. But after he said these things, he also said, now he said, your youngest brother, he is still very, very small. Well, I don't know how old he was now. Maybe he was 6 or 7 now, okay? So I guess he lived here only for 3 years or something like that, okay? But anyway, the man said to all the brothers and sisters, your youngest brother is still very small, he said. And so do not leave your youngest brother. Don't leave him, he said. Don't leave him. Take care of your youngest brother. Take care of him, he said. Cherish him. Cherish means love him. Cherish him, and do not leave him, because he is weak. He is a little child. He's very weak, and therefore do not ever leave him. Do not ever abandon. Abandon means abandon. Abandon, I think it's abandon. Abandon means leave, okay? Leave. He said, never, can you see? Forsake. Forsake. Never, never forsake your youngest brother, father said to the brother and sister. Now, the brother and sister said, never. Never, never, they said, never, never. We will never forsake our youngest brother. We will never abandon him. We will never leave him. We will always take care of him and cherish him, love him. These brother and sister promised the father. Promised it, okay? Father said, always tend him. Tend means take care of. Okay? And then soon, father died. And guess what? 8 months later, 8 months later, mother died too. Before the mother died, the mother said to these two, to mother's brother and sister, don't forsake the youngest brother. Don't abandon him. Don't leave him. Always tend him. Tend means take care of him. Wash him, feed him, hug him, be nice to him, tend him, okay? And cherish him means love him, okay? Because he is still small and very, very weak. Now, mother died, okay? Well, 3 children lived in this, the 3 children lived in this house for 1 year. One year. The father and mother died, and then the winter came. And then its brother and sister took care of the child and tended him and did not leave him and loved him. They were happy together. But 1 year passed, and the winter came, and then winter snow melted, and spring came. The flowers began to bloom, and the green leaves began to grow, and trees became green with lots of leaves. And then the older brother, his heart began to want to go somewhere. He was a young man. He said to the youngest sister, he said, "I want to go back to the village," he said. "I want to experience what the father experienced when he was young. I want to go to the village." He said, "I don't want to live here alone by ourselves. I want to go," he said to the sister. The sister said, No, she said. "We have to take care of our youngest brother." She said, "I cannot take care of him by myself. You must go hunt and get us food." She said, "You can't go. You cannot go." But he said, "I don't want to stay here," he said. And he took his bow and arrow. Okay, this is a bow. And this is arrow. Okay, bow. This is bow and arrow. He took his bow and arrow and he left. He left and he went back to the village. Now, the sister and the youngest brother lived in this house for a while. And then 1 more year passed. And then soon, the girl's heart was also began to wish to go to the village. She also wanted to meet other young people. Taking care of the younger brother was not fun. She had to clean the house, wash the dishes. She had to wash his clothes. She had to cook for him. She had to take care of the little boy. And it was not fun anymore. It became a burden for her. Burden means, heavy burden. She didn't want to carry it. It was a heavy responsibility. She had to do this and that and this and that for this little boy. It was a burden. She didn't want to do that anymore. And so she said to the little boy, "Brother," she said, I have lots of food in the house. I have lots of food in the house for you," she said. "I have food in the house. I have water in the house. Now," she said, "it is only spring. it's only spring now. Okay, it's April. She said, I will be back. You have enough food and you have enough water. And so I am going to go back to the village where your brother, our oldest brother, went. She said, I will go and look for him, and I find him, and then I will come back, she said. Okay? While I am gone, when I'm not here, you have enough food and enough water. So you stay here in the house and wait for me, she said to the youngest brother. And she left. She left. Now, the sister went to the village. When she went to the village, she found her brother. Now, the brother was married. Brother was married to a young woman, and they were very, very happy together. The sister liked it. She also wanted to have a husband. And then someone came and he liked her. And so she married him and stayed in the village and never came back to the boy. They never came back to the house. Now, the boy stayed in this little house, and there was food and water in the house. So, in April, okay, it was okay. May, it's okay. June, okay. It's still nice. The sun was out and the weather was good. So he walked around. He went to the water, the clear water, and he played, and he had food and water. And he was lonely. He was lonely because he was all by himself. He was lonely, but he stayed in this house, and he spent April, May, June, July, August, September, and October, and November. Oh, by November, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. Sister didn't come back. And the food was all gone. The water was all gone. The food was gone. The boy became very, very hungry. He didn't know where to go get the food. He was starving. Starving? Starve. Okay, he was starve. Starve means you don't have any food, you don't eat anything, so you become hungry, hungrier and hungrier and hungrier, and you are starving because you're so hungry. You want to eat, but there is no food, so you starve. If you keep starving, then you usually die because there is no food. Okay, but anyway, the boy was starving. So it began to snow, and the snow was on the ground, and he didn't know what to do because he was cold. His arms, his legs, his limb. Okay, limbs means his legs and arms. Limb. His legs and arms were cold. And he was hungry. He didn't know what to do. So he went outside to look for food. Then he saw outside, okay, when he was outside, he saw, let's see, no, this is not a tail. Okay, he saw a wolf. He saw a wolf. There were many wolves. There were many wolves. But these wolves were not unkind. When these wolves were eating food, the boy sat down. He sat down and watched the wolves eating. And then the wolves left the food for the boy. So the boy ate the food that the wolf was eating. So he didn't have anything to eat. So when the wolves went this way, the boy followed the wolf. He was lonely. He needed somebody to take care of him. And so he followed the wolves. The wolves said, okay, come, we will give you food. And so the boy began to live with the wolves. Okay? Now, we don't know how many months or how many years, this winter he was with the wolves, and then the next year he ran around with the wolves, and then the next year he was with the wolves again, and then so he lived with the wolves. Okay? One day in the summertime, because the weather was very good, the wolves went to the river. They went to the river. The wolves went. Okay? Wolves went to the river, and they were at the shore. Shore means here is the water, here is the sand. This is shore. Okay? So they went to the river shore. And then the boy was here too. Boy was here. And the wolves were there. And then the boy began to sing. The boy began to go sing. Da, 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 da. He still remembered music. He still remembered the language. So he began to sing. And he said, I am becoming a wolf. I am becoming a wolf, he said. I am half a wolf. I am becoming a wolf, he said. He was singing. Guess what? Near the river, there was a boat. Can I write it? Okay. There was a boat, and the older brother, that brother who went to the city, village, he was fishing. He was fishing in the river. The older brother heard the boys singing, and so the voice of the child singing in the Indian tone. He said, "Oh, my brother." I don't know if he saw the older brother, but he said, "Oh, my brother," he said, "I am becoming a wolf. I am becoming a wolf. I am becoming becoming a wolf, he said. And then he howled. Woo, just like a wolf. He howled. And then he said, "Oh, brother, brother, I am becoming a wolf." Whoa, he said. Now the brother heard this. And then he was surprised. And he was shocked. And he remembered that he had a younger brother. And so he said, "Oh, brother, little brother, come to me," he said. He said, "Come to me," he said. He spoke loudly. He said, "Oh, younger brother, brother, come to me." He spoke loudly. And then the little brother said, "Oh, older brother, I am becoming a wolf now," he said. And woo. So the older brother got out of the boat and he began to run towards the voice, towards the music. But when the wolves sensed a man, human being was coming this way, the wolves turned around and ran away. Then when the wolves ran, the little boy ran after the wolves because the wolves were his only friends. So when the wolves ran away, the little boy ran away with the wolves. The older brother ran after the voice and he kept saying, little brother, come back, come to me." But the boy ran away and he said, "Oh, brother, I am becoming a wolf." Woo. And this little boy disappeared, gone. The older brother, he was very, very sad. He was very, very sad. He was very sad, and not only sad, he was very ashamed. He was ashamed. Ashamed means he felt bad about himself because he betrayed his brother, because he left the young brother. He abandoned. He he abandoned. He left his younger brother. And so he felt very, very ashamed. Not only he was ashamed, he felt pain. He suffered. He was so sad. He sorrowed over the boy. He grieved. He's so sad. He grieved. And he agonized. Agonized means it's very, very sad and painful. Heartache, because he betrayed his younger brother. His heart was broken. Heartache. He had heavy heartache. And he mourned the broken promise. He broke his promise. He promised with his father that he would take care of the youngest brother, but he broke the promise. And so he was sad and sorrowed over the broken promise because he abandoned the youngest brother until the last day of his life. He was sad every day until he died. The end.